Sagittarius, and welcome back to Sienna Sunshine Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a love reading for you, or a romance reading, crush. I don't know what point you're at in your feelings with your person or people. Okay, so I'm going to first pull a card. I assume you might love them. Okay, so oh geez. I'm going to first pull a card for how this person that you're thinking of feels about this situation with you. So this person that you're dealing with unfortunately feels like this situation has no hope, or if you're in a dark place within the situation or relationship, things aren't too good right now. This person doesn't see the path to how things could get better or how you could get out of where you're presently at in this situation. They could see this situation as not having any hope left. They don't have a lot of hope left for this situation. So how you feel towards this situation, about the situation, you could feel like you weren't watching out for yourself in this situation. You weren't protecting your feelings or your heart in this situation the way that you should have. So you could be feeling hurt by this situation, or you could feel like it wasn't the best decision for you emotionally. Whatever happened in this situation, something happened that hurt you or kind of took your emotions out of balance. And you could feel like your feelings are kind of fading for this person at the moment. Either that or you feel hurt by this situation and you feel like, yeah, you weren't protecting your heart. Okay, so the present energies of this situation. So this situation could have reached its peak, basically. Current energies of this situation, it could be like this situation got to where, this might not be what you want to hear, but this situation could have whatever lessons you're supposed to have learned from this situation, from this person, from this experience, whatever it is, it could have reached in some sense its completion, or you could be feeling like the bond between you guys is very strong, and there's a lot of work. So you feel like it's complete, either that, or you feel like there's a lot of work to be done on the situation, and that the bond between you guys is very deeply rooted, but again needs a lot of work. Or you have learned what you needed to from this situation. There also could be someone else involved in this situation, and perhaps you guys would both like things to become more stable, but again, you see that it would need a lot of work, and there could be some obstacles blocking you and this person from each other. Perhaps one of you guys has someone else in your life, a romantic interest, or you think that they have someone else, they think you have someone else, etc. So now I'm going to pull a card for the blockages in this situation, what the obstacles could be. So you guys could have had an ending with each other, and that's kind of, it could have been like a rough ending in some sense, or, okay, so you guys could have had a rough ending with each other to where it seems like this relationship is not revivable. And that's the obstacle. You guys are both kind of thinking the way things ended, or the last time that you saw each other, and you're just like, I don't know how this situation could ever come back to life. Either that, or there's some kind of thought or talk of how this situation could end. You could be thinking about how is this going to end, how is this going to end, and you're too busy thinking about the ending to even pay attention to what's actually going on. If it hasn't already ended, there's some fear of the end or some thought about how the situation will end. Again, yeah, if you guys haven't already ended things with each other, or there wasn't some kind of ending. And this could also be however this relationship or interest is currently going needs to be put to an end. It could be not healthy, and however it's presently going needs to die, so maybe you could have some new beginning in the future, because the way things are going right now, it's not working out for some of you. So the communication in this situation, I feel like someone felt very defeated by this. Someone has perhaps some guilt towards this situation. Someone feels like this was kind of a rock bottom for them, or they feel like this situation has hit a rock bottom, this relationship has hit a rock bottom, and you don't like how this person doesn't really have hope for it. They're like, I don't know how we could ever get past this. I don't know how we could ever rise above this. But that wasn't communicated within this situation. So there's a lack of clear communication about what's actually going on and how you guys actually feel about things. And someone could have hit this rock bottom and didn't tell you, or you hit some sort of rock bottom and didn't tell the other person. So yeah, for some reason, normally in the communication it's like, it will be like what you guys are talking about, but this is a message of what didn't get expressed in the communication with each other. Yeah, someone didn't express this guilt that they had perhaps towards the situation. They could feel like things were their fault, the way things went or are going, and this is kind of a dark reading, honestly, Sagittarius. They could feel like things in it, they could feel like it's their fault. However, when this ending that you guys could have had, they could feel like it's their fault and they're just not expressing that. Or you feel like it's your fault and you're not expressing that either. So if you aren't communicating with this person at all, if you guys aren't talking, this is perhaps why, or what could be going on with that. Okay, so I definitely feel like there is mutual feelings for each other in this situation. You both have feelings for each other, but it's like someone is too concerned with what happened in the past. Again, like something happened here where it was not good. Bad news happened, and someone's too busy like being like, oh wow, this happened, and basically crying over spilled milk, when they don't realize that if you guys both still have feelings for each other, that you could work things out perhaps, or that they're not focusing on the fact that you guys do actually have mutual feelings for each other. They're just focusing on the fact that something happened and they're like, oh, what am I going to do? And someone could be, you or this person could have walked away from this situation out of some kind of sadness about what had happened in the past, and that's what kind of left you stagnant. But I do see that there's mutual feelings here. Yeah, someone's just kind of in a state of despair about this and doesn't want to come forward about that perhaps, or yeah, someone walked away from the situation, so that's why you guys aren't communicating, which makes sense. But yeah, and if they walked away, it could be because something happened that they're still holding on to, and that's why they walked away. So how this person views you. This person feels perhaps like you haven't reached your full potential, and they could see you as someone who is kind of stuck in their ways. They could feel like you're stuck in your ways, however you are, like they feel like you're stuck, or they feel like you haven't come forward to them in the way that they wanted, or in the way that they want you to. So I think they do know perhaps that you have feelings for them, but they think that you're stuck in expressing them, and they see you as someone who gets really caught up in perhaps paranoia or perhaps fears about things, so much to the fact that you won't go after something, or you'll be stuck in a state of fear and worry when actually it's just all in your head and you could actually go and do something, but like they see that you get in your own way a lot. And then you could be dealing with a fire sign, a water sign, earth sign, air sign, any of the signs. Okay, so now how you view this person. You don't view this person as very stable, perhaps. I feel like this person is kind of all over the place sometimes. And you could think that this person has a lot within them, but they have a lot of work to do that they're not doing. Perhaps on themselves, perhaps you feel like they need to focus on their finances. Like I said, this is kind of a dark reading, Sagittarius, but you can feel like they need to focus on their finances, they need to work on their finances, or they need to work on themselves, and you see that they're not doing that. And like I said, you could feel like this person has a lot underneath the surface, but you think that this person kind of limits themselves and hasn't reached. You both see each other kind of pretty much as not having reached your potential, and you both know you guys could be young or something, but you know that you both know that you guys are going to change from this point forward, and that you both have growth to do, which everyone does, but you definitely recognize that within each other. And you see how you see how this person limits himself, and they also see how you limit yourself, out of fear or out of not putting in the necessary work. Okay, so I am going to pull a card for the potential future energies of this situation. So if you were feeling negatively attached to this person, you could come out of that in the future, or whatever. If there was some problem with addiction in this situation, that could be also released in the future. Or if this situation was toxic, which seems like it kind of could be, or it just wasn't how it should be. Things might, if you do continue with this person in the future, I do see things getting better, and kind of a little bit of release of the situation on both of your ends. You may both kind of emotionally release the situation, or emotionally release whatever happened in the past that's this kind of like ending, or perhaps it was an argument. Perhaps you guys both release that and continue in a more understanding and healthy way with each other. Alright, so I'm going to pull a Romance Angel card for this situation for you. Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So if this was a negative situation for you, this could be something that you really learn from, that really helps you in your future relationships if this is really over for you and you see it as over. But if you still want this person, if you still want to work this out, I see that there is potential for it, so long as you don't fret too much over the past, or this person doesn't fret too much over the past. And you could be making things better with this person very soon, clearing up whatever negative situation happened. You could have communication you could talk to this person very soon, or either that or someone healing about this situation, someone new who you can be with will come to you very soon. If this situation was not what you wanted, recognize what about it was not what you wanted, and decide what you want in the future for yourself. That's what I want to say. Heard that. So decide what you would want from the future instead, with the lesson learned from this situation. Okay, so I am going to now pull a Moonology card for you. So, the situation, Sagittarius. Adjustments are required. So yes, I do feel like this situation, if you don't want this situation to be over, it's not necessary that this is completely comes to an end. I don't see that, but whatever was going on in this situation, there was something that needs to be put to an end. Maybe it's a form of communication, maybe it's a third party situation going on here, someone has someone else. That needs to be put to an end in order for this situation to work out. Maybe it's some habits that one or both of you guys have that needs to be put to an end in order for this situation to take a more healthy direction and for things to go in a positive way. There's just some growth that needs to happen within the situation, and you would need to compromise or adjust to the way things should go. Alright, so now I'm going to pull a fairy card for you. Maybe I'll read from the book this time about fairies. I feel like I want to. So, fairy spotting is your card. This could, these cards, same with the Moonology cards, all these, besides these, they could be advice for the situation that will help you in the situation, or about the situation, or they could just be something that you need to hear in general that will be good for you to hear. So it's time to go fairy spotting. It said that seeing is believing, but in fact the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. So what I get from this card in regards to this situation is that if you don't see the potential in this person or this situation, then, or if you choose to not see the potential or the way things could go, the future that you have, this person chooses that, that's the way things will go, and that's what you'll believe about this situation, that's what you'll see. But if you choose to see the potential in how things could adjust, or maybe how things could get better, and you see that, that's what you're going to believe, you know, about this situation. Alright, so, I'm going to actually read this though, like I said. If I can find it, I hope this doesn't take... Oh wait, it's on the third corner. Alright, so... This is kind of long, but I'm going to read it anyways. This is all about... I don't know if you believe in fairies, but perhaps this could be something that you're not seeing in this situation, that will be revealed to you by looking for it within the situation. Okay, so I'm going to read this card anyways. Have you ever seen a fairy? Maybe you have, but you tried to explain it away with the voice of reason. So maybe you tried to you saw the potential, you saw their feelings for you, but you were like, no. Okay. Or perhaps you're a fully fledged believer, or better still, a knower. You know fairies exist. Fairies can appear to us in many different ways. Being sensitive and open to experiences is helpful when fairy spotting, as it allows us to be more receptive to seeing these magical spirits of nature. They very often appear as flashes of light darting around wooded areas or gardens, or if you're really lucky, inside your home. They can also manifest just outside your line of sight, often in the corner of your field of vision, so you're not totally sure if there's anything there at all. Sometimes they can be felt intuitively, seen only in your mind's eye. They may also bring a flowery scent or unusual smell, rather like toffee, apples, or popcorn. When they appear in their full form, it's a true privilege, for they're rightly wary of humans. You could try photographing fairies. Even if you can't see them with your own eyes, a camera can often pick up a fairy essence, which may appear as a beam of light or a tiny orb. The best place to do this is out in nature, either in your garden or in woodland. Midsummer's Eve is a particularly good time to look for fairies. You're most likely to see a fairy if you care about nature and the environment, as they'll be more willing to connect with you. So also this could just be a message for you. Perhaps there are fairies around you who want your attention, who want you to notice them. But again, I think this also just see what you want to see in this situation, and that's what you'll believe. or there's something that will be revealed to you through looking for it and being open to it. Okay, so now lastly I'm going to pull an Angels of Atlantis card for you, and then again this could just be life advice that you need to hear, advice for you, or this could be advice about the situation that will be helpful, or something that this situation perhaps needs. Okay. Surrender. So I think this also has a lot to do with the potential future energies of the situation. There's a need to surrender to the way things are, or surrender to surrender to what's best for you and your highest good for yourself. Okay, so, and this is Safkiel, and I already did know. The angels want you to know that you are holding too tightly to a part of your life and that you need to relinquish that hold. Trust that healing will swiftly come soon, for it always does. Resistance only intensifies the aspect of life that we are holding on to, whether this be a relationship, our career, or our health. Zaphiel wants you to surrender to heaven and let the angels carry you. This lover angel wants you to learn how you may release all notion of control, substituting such action with a yielding to the management of life. It is an illusion that any part of life may be controlled by predetermining the outcome. Let go and let God in. Remember, everything that you surrender will be replaced by something better, thus allowing miracles to fully happen. Chant how, H-A-W, to allow your groundedness to be vibrationally open. So I think that kind of speaks for itself in regard to the situation. Whoa. Alright. So thank you, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I hope you enjoy your day or night.